Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gaur Premanande Swami Śrīpad Paramahamsa Bhaktivedanta His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Prabhupada. Okay, this verse, first of all, is not very complicated. Okay, it's not technical. So, like the other classes. So, stay awake. It's easy for you to understand. Like, whew, over your head. Okay, it's going to go in the heart. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, Text 14. Kutumba poshaya viyanni jayur. Kutumba poshaya viyanni jayur. Na buddhate artham vihatam pramattaha. Na buddhate artham vihatam pramattaha. Sarvatra tapatraya dukhitatma. Sarvatra tapatraya dukhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kutumbarama. Nirvidyate nasva kutumbarama. Kutumba posha viyan nijayur. Kutumba poshaya viyan nijayur. Na buddhate artham vihatam pramattaha. Sarvatra tapatraya dukhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kutumbarama. Kutumba posha Kutumba of family members. Poshaya for the maintenance. Vyat declining. Nija ayao his lifetime. Na not. Buddhate understands. Artham the interest or purpose of life. Vihatam spoiled. Pramataha being mad in material conditions. Sarvatra everywhere. Tapatraya by the threefold miserable conditions. Adi Atmik, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika. Dukkita being distressed. Atma himself. Nirvidate becomes remorseful. Na not. Shvakutumba Rama enjoying simply by maintaining the members of the family. Translation: one who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable life for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of the absolute truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. Purport: a foolish man does not understand the values of human life, nor does he understand how he is wasting his valuable life simply for the maintenance of his family members. He is expert in calculating the loss of pounds, shillings, and pence, but he is so foolish that he does not know how much money he is losing, even according to material considerations. Chanaka Pandit gives the example that a moment of life cannot be purchased in exchange for millions of dollars. A foolish person, however, wastes such a valuable life without knowing how much he is losing, even according to monetary calculations. Although a materialistic person is expert in calculating cost and doings business, he does not realize that he is misusing his costly life for want of knowledge. Even though such a materialistic person is always suffering threefold miseries, he is not intelligent enough to choose his materialistic way of life. Sound familiar? This verse? So this is what I mean to say, that practicality to understand these points clearly, and the Bhagavatam is pointing out by Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, he himself was very advanced spiritually from the childhood. So therefore, he was a realized person. he heard it, this philosophy from Narada Muni, from within the womb of his mother. So here it says that the foolish people, the foolish person, what's a foolish person? He understands, he hears, and he does it again. That's foolish. So one of the main thing here is, says here, attachment. We all are attached. Who is not attached? You have to be attached. If you're not attached, then there's no movements, there's no life. You're just standing there. So there is some movements because of your attachment. But there's nothing wrong to be attached, but you have to be attached to Krishna. Attachment to things that's going to bind you in the material world. That's what Krishna says, that give up that kind of attachment. You can be attached. Things are related to Krishna. So this is divine and demoniac. So knowledge, spiritual knowledge, reveals that we have to rise above to divine, not go down. So the whole process of bhakti yoga in the spiritual teachings is to go upwards. Look towards the light, look towards God, look towards divine. So Prahlad Maharaj, as a child, 5 years old, he knew this. And he is so serious to tell these things to his demoniac father, Hiranyakashipu. He said, you're wasting your life. That's why Prahlad Maharaj, he was a realized person from his childhood. You cannot consider young or old. According to one's spiritual understanding, spiritual advancement, that's how you judge. Just like the 4 Kumaras. They're very, Kumara means child, like kids, 4 kids, but they are very old, universally, they are eternal. They wanted to stay young so they don't become entangled in the materialistic life, in the family life. So they always want to be brahmachari from childhood, 4 Kumaras. So the idea is that the purpose of human life is to develop, is to cultivate spiritual understandings, develop love for Krishna, love for God. So that's why it's easily to glide down to materialistic way of life, because the material world we're living in, that's what it does. It glides us down, it forcefully drags us down to materialistic life. Therefore, Bhagavatam is saying, Prahlad Maharaj is telling us, serve Krishna, develop love for Krishna. This is the purpose of human life. It's not time for us to just be looking around, because the material enjoyment, it is temporary. No one can say that can live forever and enjoy here. Because we have a body that enables us to enjoy the material world. But our body is decaying, our body is getting older and older. We all know this, that one time we were a child, now we are getting this age. Where is the scope for us to enjoy? Where is the time? The time is always clicking away, therefore Bhagavatam is very clearly telling us to surrender. Krishna has come 5,000 years ago, he said surrender. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago, he said, chant Hare Krishna, become devotee. Bhaktivedanta avatar, become a good devotee, serve Krishna. Everybody, all the incarnations they're coming here to tell us to serve Krishna. They didn't say, come here and live here forever and make yourself comfortable here. They all said to get out. Buddha, he gave up his family, all his entourage and all his servants and his palace. He left, he threw all his jewelry on his body, on the ground, and he went for the forest. Why they're doing this? Because they're telling us, this world we are living in, it's a short term, it's temporary. This is why we have to become attached to Krishna. You can't say, I have been attached to Krishna from today. It's not easy to give up those things, the desire in our heart. We are clinging onto those desires because they are deep-rooted desires for a lifetime. Now all of a sudden you can give up those desires. They are stuck in us. So this is why Srila Prabhupada's mercy, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, we have this wonderful temple, we have this program, we have the association of the devotees, to emphasizing us so we can immerse ourselves in the spiritual activities and Krishna consciousness. And gradually we can give up those desires. Gradually. It's a gradual process. This is why we have to be enthusiastic. Utsaha nisayata yad. The character of a devotee, the prime quality of a devotee, is his humility, is his enthusiasm, utsaha. Why he is enthusiastic? Because he knows this is what we're meant to do. This is what gives us a real pleasure. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. It's mentioned that chant the holy name, Hare Nama, 3 times. Chant Hare Krishna. Why we're so crazy about chanting Hare Krishna? Because Krishna is there in the name. We're associating with Krishna. As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, utter the name of Krishna in your mouth, Krishna is there. You're associating with Krishna. You're with Krishna. Before you can actually go back to Godhead, you have to immerse yourself Krishna conscious here. Because that's all we're going to do in the spiritual world. We're associating with Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. Golokara Premadhan Harinama Sankirtan. This chanting Hare Krishna, we're chanting every day. It has descended from Golok Vrindavan, from the spiritual world. Non-different, the chant Hare Krishna. That's what they do in the spiritual world. We're doing the same thing here. So, Vishaya Vinivartande Niraharatas Dehina, Krishna says, they have to give up the lower taste of material enjoyment in order to develop the higher taste. If you don't have the higher taste because you're attached to a lower taste, it says here, particularly it says here, money. Who is not attached to money? The people, they're sleeping under money, they're still not happy. What is happiness? Happiness is not, it doesn't mean how much money you have, how wealthy you are. Pandavas, Pandavas, they are the eternal associate of Krishna, they're intimate associate of Krishna. They're with Krishna, every day they're discussing, they're with Krishna, they're in the forest, and they're homeless. Not that they were in the street begging. They were not wealthy, but they have Krishna. If you have Krishna, you have everything. Nakangshati, it says, Bhagavatam says that a devotee doesn't hanker or lament. Brahmabhuta pasarnatma sochati nakangshati, no sochati. They don't lament. Nakangshati, they are not hankering or lamenting because they are Brahmabhuta pasarnatma. They are satisfied. They are in the spiritual platform. Brahmabhuta, they have realized Krishna. So unless we have that taste for chanting Hare Krishna, that taste for Krishna, service for Krishna, we are clinging unto material desires, clinging unto money, wealth, family. We didn't say give it all up, but you can have all these things, but understand that these things are short-term and temporary. The real wealth is knowledge, Atmagyan, spiritual knowledge, teachings, spiritual teachings, knowledge of the soul, knowledge of Krishna. This is the real wealth. Bereft of spiritual wealth, bereft of spiritual knowledge is simply having the material world and material enjoyment is suicidal. Because when you are distressed, you have nothing to turn to. You can't turn to material things. They're only going to frustrate you. Isn't it? Like Prabhupada said, like putting fuel in the fire only gets bigger. Solution to material problems and any problems can be solved through spiritual teachings. Any solution to material problems can solve with the material problems, but it doesn't. Like I was talking to this Prabhu here, Harsha brother, Ramesh, Prabhu, He is an engineer for the airplane. You all flying here, there. Why? Because it's working. Everything in its place. Before that goes up, they make sure that plane's it's in good condition. That the wheel is going to come down nicely, it will land smoothly. The engine's it's functioning nicely. So he's an engineer. So Krishna is the supreme engineer. He gave us all these things. But you have to have a body that can function nicely. So you may think that you have everything material, but if you're in a wheelchair, you can't enjoy any of that. So Krishna, He is the supreme enjoyer, it says here. Krishna is the source of the enjoyer. You can sit here, so much food stuff, a big house, everything, but you're only a single person. You may have more than one property, but only a single person. You can only enjoy so much, isn't it? But we work so hard for it. But Krishna is the supreme Paramatma. Bhagavan, the source of everything. He's sitting in the heart of all the living entities. He's sitting in my heart, your heart, all the living entities. He is the enjoyer. I'm only the knower of this body. Krishna is the knower of all the body. I can't expand myself. That's why I don't know what you're thinking, you don't know what I'm thinking, because you're the owner of your own body. But Krishna knows everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. He is the source of everything, all material and spiritual. So unless we develop Krishna consciousness, love for Krishna, ultimate love for Krishna comes when you associate with devotees. By chanting Hare Krishna. It doesn't just come, boom, on your plate like food. You have to aspire for it. You have to work at it. Just like we had this kirtan here. You all know. We do kirtan means kirtan. Like a full-on. Like we read about it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Jagannath, they were dancing so much. Lord Jagannath's body went inside. That's why they're like that. They're in ecstasy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he used to dance, his body was oozing blood. Imagine that. Tears coming from his eyes, crying for Krishna. We don't cry for Krishna, but we cry for material things. Maya, but we still go for it. So we need to become attached to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The foolish man does not understand the values of human life. Prabhupada says 99 population of the people in the world, only 1% interested in God. And that's even rare to find. 99 population. Everybody is chasing after sense enjoyment. Prabhupada used to say like rats, chasing. Like we wake up in the morning, we go to the morning program, they wake up in the morning, where's money, where's money? 16 rounds. You see, birds wake up in the morning, cheep, 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 cheep. What are they talking about? Where's food, where's food? I used to live Clayton. There's a big, like a date tree, a lot of branches, and every morning, so loud. And before sleep, like around sunset, so noisy. They're all arguing, who's my bed, and your bed, where I'm going to sleep, perhaps. They're very enthusiastic. So human beings, there's no difference. There's so much endeavor for material enjoyment and making life more comfortable. So much work, hardship. Still we don't give up. Despite such knowledge, we crave for it. Isn't it? Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked, what is the most surprising thing? He said, The most surprising thing is that everybody around you dying, you'd never think you're going to die. Right? We wake up, we never think today could be my last day. Nobody's thinking that. Well, you saw people dying every day. You open the news every day, car accidents, airplane crash. We're still flying. We still drive. Well, we're thinking, Krishna, please protect me. We're chanting our prayers. But no one is thinking that, why am I here? The purpose of human life, according to Bhagavatam here, purpose of human life, to execute the orders of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the orders of Krishna, to perform bhakti, devotion to Krishna, execute devotional service. That is the real purpose. But we are not taking it seriously. We're taking seriously what we can see. Even one devotee was telling me, I don't believe it unless I see it. A devotee. His wife is initiated devotee. And he's a doctor of surgery. So I said, you're a doctor of surgery, why are you asking me this? You don't know the basic things. Seeing is believing, he said. And he's surgerying people, he doesn't know what's inside. He can't even see it. You have to use machine. But seeing is not believing, many things can't see. That doesn't mean they're not there. Everything is according to the Shastra. According to the Shastra, we understand that there is Bhagavan. That Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago. That's 5,000 years ago. That's a very long time. Bed story, they say in India. Kid stories like this. If there is no rain, anat bhavanti bhutani, if there is no rain, the food will not grow. Krishna says, according to if you perform a yajna, then the demigods are satisfied and they pour down the rain. Jagat bhavanti parajana, yajna karma samudbhava, karma, your actions. So everything, there is a process for everything that is going on. So according to your surrender, Krishna will reward you. But he said, no, I don't believe it. You sit down to eat, it doesn't fall on your plate. You still need to eat. You believe it or not. He said, no, I don't believe it. You go in the field, the sunlight gives a taste to the food. Who did all these things? I work for it, I get it from supermarket. And one day there will be no supermarket. No petrol, cut, no transportation. One cauliflower, $50. You have to grow your own food. You have to your own farm, self-satisfied, self-sufficiency. Oh, no, I just get it from the supermarket. I work for it. Money is not everything. People have money, but if we can't get basic needs of life, because Krishna controls everything. He controls our life. He can turn the tap off, no rain, drought. You know, some places in the world, in one little bit of water, they have to go miles away to get little water. Here we take for granted. So Krishna, we have to have the knowledge, this knowledge, simple understanding that God is the enjoyer. We are not the enjoyer. When you look at the sun, when in the morning the sun is rising, when you look at the sun, what does it look like? Like a small disk. But there's a sun planet, sun god, Vivashan, whole planet. We don't understand this thing, but the scripture says it. According to the scriptures, our belief is according to the scriptures, not by seeing. I can't see what you're thinking. I can't judge. So I have to take information from the scriptures for better understanding. So the scriptures is the source of the ultimate information, or knowledge that provides in the scriptures. I didn't know. Some people, I don't know. You don't know so many things. That's why you have to reach out, search for the knowledge. When you are a small child, you grow up to know different things because you work for it. The parents want you to go to the school to learn. Why? Because otherwise you're going to be not uneducated. So similarly, we have to educate ourselves in the spiritual teachings. Human life is not just meant to simply eat and sleep and then die. That is not the purpose, like an animal. Eat, sleep, die. Eat good food, have a good life. That is not the purpose. The purpose of human life is to perform austerity, is to our actions, our karma, our work in devotion to Krishna, to elevate, to go back to Krishna. That is the purpose. That's why Prabhupada says, foolish man. Why they're foolish? Because they're wasting the human form of life. This is a valuable, human form of life is the most valuable life, because in this room even there is so many germs and ants and so many things, but only few human beings. Okay, billion. In one room there's a billion ants. A fish. One fish can give 1,000 eggs. So human life is very rare. If we do not cultivate spiritual life and Krishna consciousness in human life, that's a great waste. That's a waste. You fall again in the cycle of repeated birth and death in the animal species. You've lost that great opportunity to go back to Godhead. We're given by Krishna. It's a cycle. So you slip out of the cycle, again you're in the cycle. Very unfortunate. Prabhupada gives the example of the bird in the cage. You can have a bird in a cage, very nice cage, but you forget the bird in the cage. You forget to feed the bird in the cage. You simply worried about the cage. Our body is a cage. We forget that body is not everything. The real knowledge is to understand the soul within the body. The vital energy of the body is there, the moving is active because of the presence of the soul. Meanwhile, we simply care of the body and we are lost in the material world. What we are practicing Krishna consciousness is like a turtle in the middle of the ocean, finds a piece of wood. You can't find a piece of wood in the middle of the ocean, very rare. Unless there's an accident, some wood there fell off from a boat. And the turtle finds a piece of wood and gets on it. And very nice. So similarly, we got the opportunity among millions and billions of living entities, this Krishna consciousness. We got that piece of wood we can rest on, this Krishna consciousness. That's how rare it is. We are so fortunate to be participating in Krishna consciousness, like the turtle, that one turtle. We are thinking, I have so much time. There's not much time. Time is flying off like a cotton. Cotton is so light, you can't hold it, air can blow it. So our life is simply wasted like cotton, without understanding God realization. Shushukam kartam apayam. Devotional service is very joyful because we have that knowledge. Otherwise, Prabhupada used to say, this society today is like a headless society. You chop off the head of a chicken, they go caw, they can't do caw anymore. They're running around without a head. So this society is a headless society. They don't have knowledge, simply running without knowledge, without a head. Head is the Brahmana. The head of the society is the Brahmanas. They provide knowledge, but we don't have Brahmanas anymore. They say, vote me, I will give you help. Simply filling up their pocket. They're not helping anyone. So the real help is help person, a devotee, a Brahmana who can give you knowledge. When in time of need, Krishna is there for you. That's why the Pandavas, they're always with Krishna. They didn't have anything material, they had Krishna with them. But they are the winner of the Kurukshetra. Many of our devotees, were not super wealthy. We don't care. As long as we're surviving. I know one Mataji, I see her here, I see her there. I said, where do you get so much money to travel? He said, oh, Krishna provides. I said, okay. I said, when is the last time you work? I can't think, before I become a devotee. 50 years ago, Prabhupada disciple. She's not a guru, doesn't have disciple, but she's still getting around. Usually gurus, everyone's paying their money, ticket, this, that. But she doesn't have any of that. But she's always moving around. I said, how you get around so much? She said, Krishna provides. I said, okay. I wish I can think like that. But he does. You have to have that faith. Like this next weekend I'm going to Sydney for Rath Yatra 5 days, after that Canberra, after that Fiji. Every month I'm going somewhere. Krishna provides. I can say the same thing, but he does. We don't have faith. No, I work for it. Who gave the energy to move your body? To breathe the air? I'm karega. I'm doing it. Krishna didn't give you air, you couldn't breathe. Not one hair will grow on your head. You can't digest your food. So Krishna is the enjoyer. We are not the enjoyer. We are servant of Krishna. This is the practical knowledge. You speak big things, but if you don't understand the basic things, all those big philosophy is going to fly over your head. Bhagavatam, you have to study from beginning, first canto, second canto, third canto, 10th canto. No jumping. Why Prabhupada created this system? Because when you can understand clearly the position of Krishna and who we are in relation to Krishna. So when you get to the 10th canto, we will understand who Krishna, we have a better picture, better understanding who Krishna is. So there's a systematic study of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So, a foolish person, however, wastes such a valuable life without knowing how much he is losing, even according to monetary calculation. Although a materialistic person is expert in calculating costs and doing business, he does not realize that he is misusing his costly life for want of knowledge. If you lose material things, you didn't lose anything. But if you lose spiritual life, you lost everything. But any foolish person can earn money, work for it. But to get bhakti, love for Krishna, spiritual teachings, Krishna's devotee, that you're not going to get easily. That you have to seek out from a sadhu, from a temple. Go to the temple, see the devotees. I remember when I first became the devotee, I have no understanding. But I always had respect for Vaishnavas. I used to get one sadhu come to our home. He was a family guru. In India we have family gurus. They come, they tell you. But this family guru was to instruct us about spiritual life. But I didn't understand anything. But we used to respect him. But when I first met Prabhupada, I was a really family guru. Prabhupada said, these are American, European boys, girls, and these are my family. This is my family. So, when I met Prabhupada, and he had so much love for us. He loved his devotees. He loved all the living entities. He was sitting in New York under a tree. It's not a new thing to sit under a tree. Goswamis, they sat under the tree. Every day, different tree. But they were chanting Hare Krishna. We are not supposed to sit any under tree. He said, no, I don't want to be attached to a tree. But they were sitting there because they were chanting Hare Krishna. As Prabhupada was sitting under a tree in Thompson Square Park, New York, and people came to him. So he was very detached. Prabhupada gave up his family, gave up everything. Because he has Krishna. The Goswamis, the Vrindavan, the Goswamis, they are super wealthy. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, it is mentioned that they have equal wealth of Indra, of the heavenly planet, the Kuberas. So much wealth. But they were crazy to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to give it all up. So if we have so much wealth, Prabhupada said, you print books, help Vaishnavas, open a temple. So he didn't say give up, you can say use that in serving Krishna. That is called Yukta Vairagya. Whatever you have, use that as a tool, as a means of tools to serve Krishna. We have this body, use it for serving Krishna. You're strong, healthy, young, dance and sing, do service. Don't waste it sleeping. There is one animal, there's bear, they sleep 6 months a year. 6 months. It's not enjoyment. You sleep more than 10 hours, you wake up, you're not actually didn't sleep actually. Your eyes are all puffy, you feel… You sleep less, but proper sleep, then you feel good. Oversleeping, it makes you more tired, actually. That's why they say you sleep, have a nap in the afternoon, a quick nap, and you get up, you feel refreshed. But you sleep hours and hours, you wake up more tired. So the idea is to use this body in Krishna service. We are young, strong, let's go for it, serve Krishna. There's no time for just mucking around, hang around in the material world. There's no place here to enjoy in the material world. You go to Melbourne city, you say, I go around, look around, it's so boring. You will be hankering to come back to temple. Every day is dry, so dry enjoyment. Material enjoyment is so dry. Everywhere you go, you have to pay for everything. If you walk out without a wallet, it's like you lost. You need money to get around. Here, if you're in this temple, you never even need to use money. People come and give you money. Out there, nothing for free. Nothing. But we are giving the highest thing for free, the holy name. They say, oh, we people are so Hare Krishna, you all are so happy. Why are you so happy? Because you're chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna is the all happiness. I have everything, but I'm not happy. There was one guy in Hong Kong I used to live, super wealthy, but he jumped off from the window. He had everything, money, home, rock star. Why? Material things lead to frustration, doesn't make… But devotees who don't rely on the material things for happiness. You have Krishna that will make you happy. All day we are serving, cooking, cleaning, doing this, that, so much work. And at the end of the day, we feel so fantastic. It's mentioned in the Krishna book that the cowherd boys and the gopis and the gopas, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, all the people in Vrindavan, Krishna's time, they used to work so hard. And nighttime they're so quiet, because everybody's so tired, they're sleeping. And here, nighttime everybody's up. Hey! We come to Mangalarti, they're waking up. If you give them 3 days holiday, they'll go mad. They will know what to do with their life. They have free time. So the better they work hard. On the weekend, they had a long weekend, people are so mad. more accidents, more drunkards. They don't know what to do with their life. We have free time, we'll be here having Harinam, more time to serve Krishna, more happiness. For them, it's suicidal. So you have to manage time. How we manage time? Rupa Goswami said, 24 hours a day, engage in serving Krishna. If you don't do that, it's going to lead you to frustration. Every day in the news, they see people crash, accidents. So where is the happiness in the material world? We going on a Harinam, chanting 2 hours, come by, and you see the guy behind the bar still drinking. And he has a headache. He's thinking, yeah, I'm enjoying. Up all night, going to the bathroom, headache the next day. And that's enjoyment. I went to the ashram just now after I came here, full of food. Opened the fridge, the Prabhu said, it's full of prasadam in there. And it's stacked up. But they're not interested to eat that. It's all there. They're all here enjoying chanting Hare Krishna. Yesterday I came, 9 o'clock in the morning, they have a pizza for breakfast. 2, 3 different types. I said, oh my God, how am I going to cook now? So devotees were enjoying. You know, they go there, they have pizza there, $5, $7 for one slice. And it's not even tasty. They break your teeth, it's so crunchy, so dry, there's no enjoyment there. And devotees, we have such juicy, such tasty prasadam. This is enjoyment, spiritual life. It's full of happiness in spiritual life. Still, oh no, Hare Krishna, no, I don't want to be a devotee. I like to eat the dry things. I won't be unhappy all day, going around miserable, throw myself off the building. I like my drugs. I kill myself. I want to work like a donkey, foaming at the mouth. I like it, I'm enjoying it so much. Actually, that's what it is. Oh yeah. Come here, Krishna's calling us with his flute. All right, come to me. We promise to Krishna within the womb, it says in the Bhagavatam. We promise within the womb, please take me out, I'll serve you. This place is so miserable, and as I say, a very miserable material world. The womb, before we even come out, we are in miserable conditions, tightly stuck in the mother's womb. We are so much suffering that we are praying, please take me out of this condition, I'll serve you. As soon as you come out, so nice. Everyone's taking photo of you. I love it here. I'm the center of the universe. I'm my only child, I love it so much. My little, God, demigod. We worship that these guys here, But they are special, but the ones out there. So we have to be always fixed in knowledge. Don't be overcome by maya and illusion, thinking that there's something here. The enjoyment everywhere, but we know this is, you stay aloof from it. Aloof. The most beautiful thing is when you're aloof, when you feel detached. So much food, so much thing, was no, not for me. It's all Krishna's. That it feels so good to be in that feeling, that detachment. That just feels so good. We serve the devotees. I don't want to serve, I want to sit down and eat. There is enjoyment in serving because we are servant of Krishna. When you serve your spiritual master, when you serve the Vaishnavas, when you serve Krishna, that's what gives the real pleasure. You can sit down and have a big plate like a Govardhan hill. Halfway you will be full. Oh, I can't eat anymore. So be wise and serve Krishna. Immerse yourself in the transcendental happiness of devotional service to Krishna. The real happiness. Otherwise, we are stuck in the material world. There's one book called Coming Back, and the door is opening, it's coming out. Have you seen that? Coming back? We don't want to come back. We should write, don't want to come back. Coming back, what coming back? Reincarnation. Only going up, not coming down. Everything comes down. All putti in your body comes down. The soul has to go up, not go down. Material things will come down. So we have to be very strong with ourselves. Sadhu means one who is strong with knowledge, in understanding, and fixed. Driha brata. Krishna says, a devotee is fixed in knowledge. Bahusaka nivanantasya. There's this says like a tree, like a branch of a tree is scattered everywhere. A devotee is not like this branch of a tree scattered everywhere. He's focused, he's fixed. Buddhaya Vyavasaya, his intelligence is fixed in knowledge. Otherwise, he's like a dog. You know, some ladies, they carry 10 dogs and holding the rings. Everyone's going different directions. It's pretty tough. So our mind is dragging us everywhere. That's why Krishna says, pull it down, bring it under your control. Control the self. We can give big talks and have many courses, but I actually understand these principles and apply the knowledge to yourself. It has to sink in to ourselves. There was these two fish, they were mating under the sea, and there was a sage who used to meditate under the sea, and he saw these two fish mating, and he gave up meditation and he come up and had a family life. That's, you know what I mean? They were so advanced, they're meditating under the sea for thousands of years. And they saw, so we have to be so strong with ourselves. Don't give in to sense enjoyment. Life is so short. That's what Prabhupada says here. And it's miserable. This material world is miserable. I can remember one time in my whole life from the childhood that I had a really, like my body is so good, I feel so fantastic. There's always some issue. Scratching here, a stomach ache, and I have a pimple here or there. I hurt myself on the toe, on the brick, something or the other. I never had a super good feeling, a good day. They all say, have a nice day. I never had it. I mean, spiritually, but always some issue with the body. Never a perfect day. But we always trying to make ourselves feel good materially. Spiritually, we have to enhance our Krishna consciousness spiritually. Materially, there's going to be always a struggle, always. Because that's the material world. This material is an imperfect place. It's not perfect. Spiritual is perfect. Why the God himself come here? He says, get out of here, come to me. Why? Because this world is not our home. We are working so hard to stay here, but this is the wrong place. You can stay here for short term. I lived in China for 15 years. There, you can't own anything. You buy land or home only for a certain time. Like 70 years, that's it. It's not yours, it's handed back to the government. I think it's a good idea, so we don't become attached to it. So you own it and give to your children, and their children, it just goes on, cycle. So you don't own anything. It's Krishna's. So, we need to enhance our spiritual life through understanding. Otherwise, we are also dragged. So we are so lucky, we are so fortunate to have this knowledge. The worst thing is someone who knows what is poison and then drink it. They say, oh, poison, oh, thanks. We have knowledge. Knowingly we're drinking poison. You were born in India, we know. Bharat Bhumite Manushya Janma Helajar. That we're born in a spiritual place, Bharat Varsha. We're lucky to have the knowledge. In India, everybody knows, I'm not this body. I'm Sarir Nahi hai, I'm Atma hai. I'm the soul, spirit soul. Every Indian knows that. Where people in the Western country, They don't even believe in death. They don't believe in reincarnation. We know that there's a life after life. Because we are brought out in that culture, in the spiritual culture. But whatever we are saying is not, we are just making up. It makes sense because it's in the scriptures. Shastra, the evidence, the praman, the conclusion is in scriptures. We're not just ploughing on. We are saying things that are sensible, that are in scriptures, that are benefiting us spiritually through knowledge. Spiritual teachings are coming from the parampara system, guru to disciple. So it's not just talking. Just like Mataji gave class few days here. It's all very systematic, very full of knowledge. Mataji is very intelligent in studying. So like if you study about mechanic or a PhD, all this lecture, so many things, you have to study these things. So similarly you also have to study bhakti culture, the knowledge, spiritual teachings, the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Not just we are talking, we have to know. If you are convinced, then you can convince others. Think, people know you're doubting, you don't know. I used to teach yoga in China, and then there's two concepts. You speak concept of the yoga and the asana, the poses, exercises. And there's a very vast knowledge, the concept of the yoga. There's big books like this. Like, I didn't know. People aren't going to trust you. So, whereas before I teaching, they told me, never, even if you don't know, never do this. Always feel with confidence, you know it. Inside you don't know anything. Oh yeah, I'm like a yogi all the way from India, very, very famous yogi. I have no knowledge about yoga. I'm a bhakti yogi. So we have to be convinced with ourselves what we do. If you're not convinced, then we just hang around here having good food, and then somebody says something, yeah, you're right, I'm coming. And that's it, you're gone. There's so many different groups going around. You have to stay in the right track to practice Krishna consciousness. Right association with sadhus who can inspire us spiritually. But you may think, I already know everything. But that is not the attitude. You have to seek out the process with humility, with bhakti, with devotion. I do not know anything. Shishtastheham sarimam tvam prapannam. Arjuna said to Krishna, I don't know anything, please instruct me. I will surrender unto you. And to have that attitude, then Krishna will, from within, Krishna said, I'm sitting within everyone's heart, and I will give you, I'll guide you. So it's always, we always have the opportunity, in full advantage is there for us to spiritually progress, if we want to. So Prahlad Maharaj is teaching these things to his father Hiranyakashipu, because Hiranyakashipu is a big demon. He says economic development, enjoyment. He sent his son to the school to teach these things, to learn how to develop sense enjoyment and economic development. He said no. We're doing the same thing here today, rampantly. Material enjoyment. It's the only thing. If you don't have spiritual understanding, you're only going to have material things. And material things means ultimately suicidal. You're going to lead to complete frustration. This is why, at my age, jumping around here, what for? Because I know this is the ultimate thing to do. There's no enjoyment out there. Everyone said, oh, keep trying, keep trying. Okay, one day you'll die. Keep trying to death. We don't have any energy left. I have a lot of energy. I work very hard here, but I'm doing for Krishna, so I feel happy about it. But I know this is for Krishna, I like it. I'm enjoying it. But nobody out there working can say that. They are watching their clock. As soon as the time's up, gone. They don't want to do one more, like not even 5 minutes of extra work. They're tired of it. They're not enjoying their work. But here we are, 4 o'clock in the morning. Early in the morning, jumping around like, what is this? Who is doing that time of jumping around, that time in the morning, 7 in the morning? They can barely walk, they had so much drink. Waking up. You know, we have a long weekend, everybody in the temple, big kirtan. And they have, they're sleeping until midday and then going out somewhere. We have such a good time. So our enjoyment is based on spiritual life. It's so much better. You can dance for hours and hours. Even if you're drunk, you can only dance for a few minutes. Not even proper dance, in a little bit. We are jumping. Where are you getting that energy from? We didn't have any substance in our body. Because Krishna is there in the name, chanting Hare Krishna. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for a wonderful class. You mentioned that this life is very short and that we shouldn't waste it.
Yeah.
How do we develop that urgency for Krishna consciousness outside on a daily basis?
Yeah, but see, these instructions are basically for us, the family, grihasthas, because most of the devotees are the family with grihasthas, working people. So it's a challenge for us, and not easy for us to chant our rounds, quality rounds, and then you have to take your kids to the school and have to pay for everything. On top of it, maintain a spiritual life. It's a big challenge. But that's what makes you Krishna conscious. That challenge is not going to be a smooth sailing. Krishna didn't say, oh, it's going to be everything going to be, no. You have to work for everything. So maintain material life, at the same time practice Krishna consciousness, accept that challenge as your devotion to Krishna. That is what's accepted, your endeavor to serve Krishna. Salpamavasya dharmasya trayate mahata vayat. Krishna says that little bit of endeavor protects you from the most dangerous fear. The salpa, apasya, dharmasya, the little bit of endeavor. We're not doing a little bit of endeavor, not even any. Most of our time spent on family, working, and then go to the temple once a week. So, I don't have time to chant my rounds. Then Prabhupada said, don't eat, sacrifice the eating time to chant. We find time to chant, to eat, and go to the bathroom. Always find time to do things for ourselves. And he said, no, I love God, I love Krishna, I chant Hare Krishna, I love Krishna. So, it's a challenge. That challenge is that we have to manage your time, make a time somehow, organize your life in a way that you have to find a time to chant your rounds, and then at the same time work. There's all these things. It takes organizing. That's what makes us a human being. Just like a cat or dog. There's no married life in there, cat or dog, isn't it? Why there is a married life in human life? Because it's restricted. We can manage things properly. So we don't want to be like cat and dog. We have to manage our time. So it's not that, it all depends on your enthusiasm, your sincerity, your brata, if you actually really want to do it or not. If you want to do anything, you can get it done. It depends on your enthusiasm. That's why Rupa Goswami said, Usaha, your enthusiasm is a main character of a devotee. You don't have enthusiasm, it's just going around and like that. Everything has to be deeper, not shallow. If you understand more deeply, then we can relish it. But it's on the shallow level, we are going to be, we're not diving deep. So to be able to dive deep in Krishna consciousness, we have to associate, read, and like you all doing, like we are doing it. These programs are here. At least you have to look things in a very broader perspective, so you know that life is short. I have a short time. Why bother? Just go for Krishna. You know what I mean? It's not that the food is here, I have to eat everything, leave for some for others. No, we're not the enjoyer, we can't take it all. And I work in the kitchen, I know. Everyone's like, the best one's for me. Come on, leave some for others. You have to always share the knowledge. Always feel I am the smallest person here. Yeah, so if we do things in a humble way, then things become more easier. Krishna, He will bless us from within, makes it easier, even if it's difficult. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam, it says, for a devotee, the ocean shrinks to the size of a footprint of a calf. You know that verse? It's like, wow, I want to swim across the ocean. No way. But if we serve Krishna, Krishna says, I'll protect you. He'll help you to serve Him, if we have this sincerity. He'll like, I'll do it. No, not the attitude. You have to have that, Krishna will help you. I'm insignificant. Krishna, please help me to serve you. There's so many great devotees, I'm the insignificant, I'm the smallest, I'm nothing. Then Krishna will help you. You have to have that. All the Vaishnavas, that's their attitude. A humble attitude. Nobody says, oh, he's greatest Vaishnava, like Bhaktivedanta Thakur. He says, I'm a bug in the house of a devotee, lawn. If he's going to say like that, who am I? Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to eat and put a lot of salt in his food. No one can eat remnants. You heard that before? I can't finish my food, here you go. Maha. But I'm just saying, it's okay, but I'm just saying what is the different attitude of a different devotee. Yeah. Other question? Yes.
I just wanted to share like a little clip of Prabhupada that I heard yesterday. He gave a really nice analogy on Krishna being the supreme enjoyer.
Sure.
It's like this hand picks up a very nice rasgulla, but it does not take. It gives to this tongue, and then it enjoys. That is the process. Similarly, whatever you possess, you give to Krishna and take prasada, then you will get it. Otherwise, it will not bring happiness, because that is not the process.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you got that, but he said if the hand picks up the rasgulla, he doesn't enjoy it in the hand, he puts it in the mouth, and then through the mouth, it nourishes the whole body, and then the hand enjoys. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear Prabhupada's voice even. And when Prabhupada was here, I didn't understand a word he was saying because only after Prabhupada left I could understand, because I couldn't speak English. And the devotee says, it doesn't matter, even if you don't understand just by hearing his voice you can get purified. And the power of the holy name, the power of the knowledge coming from the mouth of a pure devotee, you can still get the blessing. But if you can really understand, it's such a blessing. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, I have a lot of the devotees here. I mean, I haven't heard devotees, they're singing and different people. And when you hear Prabhupada singing, it's a very, very nice, And very few devotees that use Prabhupada tapes these days much. But if you hear Prabhupada's voice, it's very, very unique, very spiritual. Like, if you don't understand, you will not appreciate Prabhupada's voice. Somebody said, "Oh, I don't like that singing." This very old man singing that. But it's very transcendental. We have to have that to be able to understand him. It's not everyone can appreciate. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the nice class. Prabhuji, you mentioned that Krishna's devotees are always wealthy, they have everything. But we see when I went to Vrindavan, I saw a lot of beggars, like some Matatis who had very small kids. They didn't have anything to eat. They had nowhere to sleep. So how do we understand this?
I don't know. You have to directly ask Krishna, or taking care of your devotees, like you said in the Gita. You have to talk to him directly. There's situation. We need to understand from the scriptures. Everything, there's a reason for everything. It's not like it's all what we think. But Krishna is take care of our devotees. But at the same time, if he didn't take care, he's you're not my God anymore. But it's not like that. Like it says in the Shikshashtaka, whatever condition he put me under, I accept you. That's a mercy, and I embrace you in a whatever situation. I still serve you. That's the level of love for Krishna. The different level that when you say I love, means it can put you in a difficult situation. Kunti Devi said, "Please give me more misery. Put me under." The difficult situation, I still want to serve you, so I can remember you. But sometimes what happens is when so much enjoyment, we forget Krishna. So devotees sometimes, they ask Krishna, they pray to Krishna, please put me in a situation, difficult situation, so I can remember you. But it's not that I don't ask Krishna those things personally. Please give me misery, I already am in misery. But suppose you're in that condition, see the hand of Krishna behind. So that way, when you talk about knowledge, to apply the knowledge, to understand clearly the knowledge when situations are ups and downs. This is mature world. You're not going to get a perfect situation here, but when you are in a difficult situation, most of the time we will be. That time we need to understand, I'm just your servant, please. Whatever position you put me in, I still want to serve you. Allow me to remember you. Now we see the deity in the morning, we're praying for what? These are the things we have to pray to. How I can cultivate my love for you, enhance my love for you, like that. So these Maharajis, they had, you go to India, you fall sick, it's part of the purification. You're not going to go there and it's not like you're going to Hawaii and stay in a 5-star hotel. You're going to Vrindavan. You have to have that attitude that I'm here to listen to the sadhus, I'm here to chant more rounds, read and the holy dham. So sometimes in different conditions there than here, the body can handle. So it's not Krishna's fault that you are suffering. He is merciful to us that we can still have a body to talk and digest our food. He's merciful. There are always a worse situation than you. You have a nice place to stay, you have parents, where's the problem? But there's somebody who can get daily food to eat. So there's always a worse condition than us. So we have to understand things, and then there's a reason for that. There's karma, so many things. But for devotees, Madhajis in India, it might be difficult, but if you see in a spiritual way, there's no difficult. There's always some worse situation than us. Maybe they don't have a place to sleep. Maybe they shouldn't sleep in Vrindavan, chant Hare Krishna all night, if you want to. But, if you live in a holy dham, Vrindavan, Mayapur, sometimes you can't sleep. Because the energy is so strong, the environment, the energy. You feel like staying up all night. That's all right. If you don't feel it, fine. Chant Hare Krishna all night, if you can. So, a different way of seeing it. But it's like you suffer, doesn't mean it's God's fault. Krishna, if I'm God, I make you suffer if you don't serve me. But He's not like that. He's more merciful. You see, this devotee, Krishna Himself has enemies. Krishna was here, not everybody liked Him. And so many devotees don't like me, so I don't go around all day, oh God, He doesn't like me, what to do. Krishna Himself doesn't, so many people don't like Him. Why He created this material world. They all hate Krishna. That's why we're here. But He's so kind, still comes here to bring us back. He tolerates us. But somebody tell us something, oh, that's Prabhu. And you think all day, you can't even chant around because he said that. Well, this material world is like that. We have to see things in the Shastra and be humble.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yep. Anybody else? I'm not looking at the clock, sorry. One more questions. I will continue sitting here. Yesterday the class was till 9:30, one of the days. And when Pusharam was getting cold. But today is only 9 o'clock, so it's not 9:30 yet. Anyways, only khichdi, it's not like fancy pizza. I don't know if there's no paneer in the khichdi.